this is one of my very favorite techniques to use on these papers. I love to stitch. I think there's something really meditative about that. And it doesn't take a whole lot to really add some personality and some extra oomph to these Ecoprints and turn them into really nice pieces of art. So I've pulled out a few here that were not really defined well enough to use as art. Or maybe there's just too much going on and it was hard to focus. That this wasn't well defined enough, although the colors are really nice. This one is another one that was just too soft for me to be able to use as a standalone print. And this one was had a lot of bleed through from the plants that were on the backside. But I really like just the layout of these two flowers. All the supplies that I need. I have one ball head quilting pin. I have my needle, which I think is about a size 8, and a pair of scissors. And then here's all my embroidery floss. This is all 6-strand embroidery floss. So I'm just going to pick out a color and pull off a piece. And I think I'll use this color. I think this will be nice. So I'm just going to pull off about 18 inches. And this is 6-strand floss. So I will split it into 2 3-strand pieces. And that's what I'll do my stitching with. So my needle is threaded. I'll tie a knot in the end. I'm not really concerned about the back side of these papers. I know in really fine embroidery, you might want to have a neat backside, but to me, that doesn't matter. So here's the front side that I'm going to stitch on. So I'll use my quilting needle, and I'm just going to begin to punch through, I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 places to start. So I can flip it over and see where my hole is, and that's my first stitch. It comes up from the back. And then I'll go down into the hole that's next to it. And I'll just continue to poke holes and pull my stitches up and down as I think they are needed to fill in these gaps. Sometimes I'll just use my needle to poke the hole if the paper is pretty soft. I feel like I can do that. If the paper is still pretty stiff, even after it's been eco-printed, then I may very well use my quilting pin to make a hole. I love to make French knots. I think they make just beautiful accessory pieces or little accents, I guess. I think the most important thing to remember is that when you do punch your paper to make a hole for the needle, make sure you go from the top down, or the little edges of the paper where you've poked through will be sticking up instead of being flush. So we want them to be down, not up. My goal here is just to create some stitches that look like these flower petals. Since they're not really there, I'm putting them there with thread. So you can see the stitches that I've made, and now I'm working on the French knots right here up inside this flower. So I'll make my little hole, and I'll go around and find it. Come up, wrap the thread around it twice, holding it with my fingers, and go back down into the same hole. and hold that tight. And you can see that little French knot right there. Sometimes they're hard to see when you get a lot of stuff going on, but I'll fish it out.